So what's the Grape Explorer talking about today? So one of my favorite areas in all of France, and as you know, I like to do a little bit of education about French wines because in all honesty, sometimes it can be very complex and, at least to try to understand the appellation and the grapes. So we've got a beautiful area, one of my favorite areas, the Loire Valley. And this wine right here is called Savennières. And Savennières is an appellation right near Anjou, but it is 100% Chenin Blanc, which in all honesty, you can see this is a beautiful book that I've had for over 30 years, and I wanted to share it with everybody. And it's dedicated to the Loire Valley. It also does Alsace, but we have some of the greatest producers of Savennières in this book, but we are going to talk about the appellation a little in depth here because we want to at least explain exactly where this is located on our French map. And, we have Anjou, which is right here. Very, very famous area. Just below that is right here, Savennières. And Savennières is located quite close to the Loire River. Remember, I always talk about rivers, how they're very extremely important for production of wines in the world, especially in French wines. But Savennières is located right in here. And, we had a chance to go to one of the top restaurants in New York, which was called Le Bernardin. So we had an anniversary dinner, and quite hard to get into this restaurant. Takes maybe 4 or 5 weeks just to get a reservation there. But, going to this restaurant, a lot of the wines are extremely expensive, especially when you get to Burgundy, which was on the list. But, when I was scrolling down the list, I'm always looking for value on a wine list. And to me, the best value on the whole list was Savennières. They had actually 5 producers. And one of the greatest producers is Coulis des Serrans. Those wines are going for anywhere between $300, $400 a bottle, which is quite expensive for Savennières, but it's quite a rare wine. A lot of people really don't know this area. So when you look on a wine list, and we were seeing, I was seeing Savennières on there for about $110 a bottle, which I thought was an exceptional value. But I found this producer here, and I wanted to explain a little bit about this producer right here. So this is from a vigneron called Dumnacus, and it's called Collections Emotions, and it is a producer in the Loire Valley that does quite a number of wines, this is actually what I would consider to be a value in Savennières. And Savennières is just starting around $30 a bottle. You're not going to find Savennières for $10 a bottle. You're not going to find it even for $20 a bottle. It's a very, very small production, small appellation, but it's 100% Chenin Blanc, which I adore. I think Chenin Blanc is the most underrated grape in all of France, especially when you talk about Vouvray and Côtes de Chaume and, some of the Côte de Léon. A lot of these areas are 100% Chenin, but this is a beautiful, beautiful wine. So, let's just talk and discuss, because the first thing that I get out of this wine is like honey. It just leaps right out of the glass. And you get a lot of that orchard fruit, so you get that apple, you get all that kind of pear notes. But one thing that was interesting about Le Bernardin, which is considered one of the finest restaurants in the world for fish. So when you go there, it's not really a steakhouse. You really want to go there and experience Eric Ripert's fish, because he's one of the top chefs in all of the world for fish. So you really want to pair his fish, or, if you want to say that type of cuisine, that what he does, you have to try them with a wine like Savennières, because it is the perfect wine. Actually, lobster thermidor, which is a very rich kind of lobster dish, goes perfect with Savennières. But let's taste this wine, because it's quite a pleasure not only to taste this wine and explain a little bit about Savennières, but at least share the opportunity to see what these wines taste like. It's got full-bodied, rich fruit. Chenin Blanc, sometimes people would think is a little sweet. This is not. It's very, very dry. And you get a lot of that mineral tone and that bright acidity, because the soil here is very schist. You get a lot of that limestone as well. But really, just these are beautiful wines, and you know, fortunately, a lot of Savennières you have to look for under the radar. You're going to see them like $30, $40 a bottle, but they're wines that you can age. You can actually put this away in your cellar for 10, 15, 20 years. Yeah, I know that's a quite a bold statement to make on a wine like this, but Savennières is under the radar. A lot of people don't understand this wine, maybe if they go into a wine store. So that's how you read the label. So Savennières is the appellation. It does not put Chenin Blanc, but it is 100% Chenin by the rules, by the appellation rules. And again, if you really want to treat yourself, you know, to some of the greatest producers here, you know, again, you know, Coulis de Saran is quite expensive, but we have some of them over here, which are quite famous too. A Pierre right here, you know, which is quite famous, and then Domaine Boumard, you know, if you can find those on a wine list. But yeah, these are truly treasures. Wanted to share this. Again, this is a Grape Explorer, always talking about great wines that fly under the radar. Remember now, this is called Savennières, right near Anjou, and it's in the Loire Valley. This is one of my favorite areas in all of France, Loire Valley. It's called Happy Hunting Ground for great wines that fly under the radar. Cheers.